Hello, Gemini. How are you? We're talking about a person on your mind and how do they feel towards you. How does the person on Gemini's mind feel towards Gemini? How does the person on Gemini's mind feel towards Gemini, my Gemini collective? How does the person on Gemini's mind, something came out sideways, and that is Five of Wands. They feel like perhaps the disagreement or the fight that's happened between the two of you was not very fair towards you. Perhaps they're taking accountability. Who knows? Let's see. Please clarify the Five of Wands sideways. Clarify the Five of Wands sideways. What does that mean in terms of their feelings? Knight of Wands in reverse. Oh. Was somebody accused of being in a third party or being a player? Were you accused of that? Or was there jealousy? Or were they doing this? Knight of Wands in reverse. To me, Knight of Wands in reverse is a player. Or perhaps somebody was not doing or performing something the way that they needed it to be performed. So there was a conflict about that with you. So that's a second storyline for you, Gemini. Tell me more about their feelings towards Gemini. The person in Gemini's mind, their feelings towards Gemini. Feelings towards Gemini. Please tell me more. Tell me more about this person. Their feelings towards Gemini. The Devil in reverse. Something was very toxic here. And they are kind of getting over the situation. They were not happy, definitely. Perhaps there was even obsessive energy here. Some sort of an obsessive energy. But a toxic, maybe somebody was an addict, and they are getting over their addiction. But to me, this whole Knight of Wands in reverse, Five of Wands sideways, and the Devil in reverse sounds like somebody's getting over a toxic situation. Tell me more about the Devil in reverse, please. King of Swords. King of Swords. Yeah, there was a lot of strife here. There was more of a cerebral sort of power struggle here rather than heart struggle. It's like somebody wanted to get an upper hand in this situation. And somebody finally said no and stepped away. And I wonder if it was you or if it was the other person. Because it could go either way. They might have accused you of things that you didn't do and you cut them off. You said your piece. You were very deliberate and cerebral with them. Like cerebral in terms of meaning you were cold, kind of detached. You said it in a very concise manner, just only Gemini can do. Gemini and Aquarius. You said your piece, you know, in a very calm, reserve. See, I have so little Gemini in myself that I can express myself so poorly. You Gemini just know how to talk. I love that about you guys. You're just the best in terms of talking, in terms of relating to people through words, through spoken power. You just have that. So yeah, you were the King of Swords in this situation, I feel like. You said your piece. They could have done the same, since they are the one who are kind of getting over the toxicity of it all. Something was not right between the two of you guys. Tell me more about Gemini person's feelings towards Gemini. Knight of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles. So there is love here. There are feelings. I wouldn't say it's love. There are feelings here. There are feelings that are waiting to be expressed, but somebody would rather just keep it to themselves and move on to being independent from this situation for now. You know, kind of focus on themselves. Very similar to Taurus reading, but this is a little bit more cold and detached. It's not as fiery, not as, it's more of lots of intellectualizing, lots of thinking about this. Give me more on their feelings. Tell me about the Nine of Pentacles. What are their intentions towards Gemini? Page of Swords in reverse. Yeah, right now they're stepping away. They don't even want to check up on you. There are feelings here, but I feel like they would rather not look at it and not study it any longer. Not look at you and not study you any longer, and kind of focus on their well-being. However, there is a desire here to express their feeling. I wouldn't say they have very strong feelings here. I don't see a lot of cups. This is the only card with cups. But there is something. You touched them in a way. They do want you to know this, but they're hesitating to approach you. I wouldn't even say hesitating. They are putting it off right now. Putting it off. Okay, give me one more card about Gemini person's feelings about Gemini. Gemini person's feelings about Gemini. Two of Pentacles. See, they are juggling their own life right now. They have a lot on their plate right now. They're trying to look away, trying not to think about this. You're just focused on themselves. Tell me more about this Two of Pentacles. I hope there is no third party here. What is this Two of Pentacles? Please tell me. Yeah, they're focused on themselves, on their well-being, their abundance. There's an Aquarius here. Are you dealing with an Aquarius? There is Capricorn here. Sagittarius. What are the Gemini's person's intentions towards Gemini? What are their intentions? Three of Pentacles in the reverse. They're stepping away. They're not working on this right now with you. They are focusing on their own thing. Please give me more on the intentions towards Gemini. The Hermit. Focusing on themselves, going inward, thinking about their own growth, their own potential, their own life. That's what's on their mind right now. Gemini. What are their desires towards Gemini? What are their desires towards Gemini? What are their desires towards Gemini? To get it all under control. Clarify the Emperor, please. Clarify the Emperor. Clarify the Emperor, please. Their desires towards Gemini. Clarify the Emperor. Nothing's coming out. I guess it's the Emperor and that's it. Could be an Aries you're dealing with as well. Oh, there's 10 of Wands. To carry the burden of this connection for now, to take control of it. So this connection is definitely burdensome for them. Something happened between you guys that created a lot of instability in their life, and they're just taking control, rebalancing themselves, carrying on. Even though it's heavy, they're moving on. Very similar to Taurus, but not as lovey-dovey. It's more of a, okay, this didn't work out. I need to move on. I need to just get over this. I need to take control. Okay, let's take an oracle. Let's see what the oracle is going to tell us. All right, Gemini person's energy towards Gemini. The person on Gemini's mind. What is the energy towards Gemini? Temple path. That, yeah. So this resonates with the Hermit quite a bit. This card for me. They are going inward. I feel like this connection with you was a sort of a lesson for them. And they are right now trying to process that whole, you know, the whole paradigm they just stepped in after this connection. Give me more on their energy towards Gemini, please. The Garden and the Gate. They're sort of, they're looking at this. So definitely studying this connection, maybe not thinking much about you as much as about this connection and how this connection has transformed them in their life. And yin and yang, they do feel a deep connection with you here. Connection and harmony. So you did touch them in a pretty serious way. I would even say yin and yang sometimes comes out for twin flames. It didn't give me much of an indication of the twin flame in this particular reading, but there is a possibility for it. What is the advice for Gemini? Let's get the angel advice for Gemini. Lekabel, that's Angel Lekabel. I'm really terrible at reading their names. Lekabel or Lekabel, I don't know. Could you make a shift? Do some soul searching to see if you're on the right path. It's a good one. Love this advice. Please give me one more advice for Gemini in this situation. Geminis, I really like you people. I think you get a bad rap. I do. I especially like girl Geminis. Some of my favorite people are girl Geminis. You guys are fun. I'm an Aries, so we get along. All right, so another advice for Gemini. Manakel, contain your anger today and don't get worked up. It's not a big deal anyway. So in terms of this whole soul growth, a lot of these things that upset us are really not a big deal, but they are like a small stepping stone towards your growth. So take them as that. And don't get worked up. You know, we Aries know very well about getting worked up about things, so you're not even close to us in that sense. So, but that's why we, you know, we go through this every single day. It's you know, a daily upkeep of anger, a daily anger management ritual for us. So I kind of understand this. One more advice for Gemini. Iahel, there is virtue in solitude. Iahel wants you to get some alone time today. So important. So important to recharge. So just do that for now, Gemini, my dear. If you resonated with this reading, please leave me a comment, share and subscribe, or like. I would love a like, please. And I'll talk to you soon. Thank you, Gemini, for watching. Bye.